Hey everyone, Danny B here. Well, as you know, last week we hosted NWP on my channel. And the next day, on Thursday, we found out some very, very surprising yet news that I also expected. And that's the confirmation that Alex Bowman would extend another season with Hendrick Motorsports to get a chance to go one more full-time season. But he also announced that after the 2027 season, he will retire from NASCAR racing at just 34 years old. Here I am. I'm 3 years younger than Alex. I'm 30 years old, turning 31 this year. And I have been a supporter, fan of Alex Bowman since he took over for Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 2018 season, following Dale Jr.'s retirement at the end of 2017. So as my channel, DannyBTalks, has progressed, it's grown from being, just my fan-driven hobby to being an opportunity it gave me the ability to cover multiple races, and I'm so grateful for that. The biggest sin that I've had, if you want to call it that, as a NASCAR media member is being biased. I have not been unbiased fully because I have had a favorite driver. And now that Alex Bowman is set to retire, it's had me reflecting on things a lot. And, just wanted to sit down and talk about this some to you guys and be open, have a direct line of communication with my audience before we actually get into this week's episode of NWP, which will be on Eric's channel, if I'm not mistaken. So be sure to join us Wednesday night this week. I'll probably expand on this a little bit more of the NWP audience, but just wanted to have a chance to sit down here and talk about how I feel about Alex Bowman's, early retirement. And for one thing, I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he gets to go out on his own terms. I'm happy that he's not just being fired and, unsure if he even gets another chance. He gets to make this choice. And the interesting thing was the fact that although, yes, health has been an issue for him over the last few seasons, this seems like it was always his plan. And, perhaps I shouldn't be too surprised. In a lot of ways, he's not much different than I am. Yes, I'm a YouTuber. I talk to strangers on the internet, but in reality, it takes a lot for me to open up around people, and kind of an introvert. I kind of had to push myself to get out of my shell. And sometimes, maybe this is just me. I don't know him real well other than, having supported him. I've talked to him a few times, had a chance to interview him before. And I don't know, he kind of gives me the vibe that, yeah, he's just looking for, a normal life. And I can't fault him for that. There's a lot in life that he probably still wants to accomplish and do. And maybe, as he said, he can't do that from the perspective of a full-time NASCAR Cup Series driver. So for Alex, I am glad that he gets to go out on his own terms. He doesn't necessarily has to listen to the mob that says, oh, he sucks, he should be fired, why is Hendrick still letting him go? And that argument's always been, preposterous to me. It's always been a history that there is always a fourth driver. It's tough to keep four cars equally the same. And the fact that, consider how he started with Tommy Baldwin Racing, BK Racing, all the little opportunities he had to take. The fact that he was there and he went on to win 8 NASCAR Cup Series races, and he still has a chance to hit double digits. Let's not forget that. I know we're not going to bank on that happening, but there's a chance that it could still happen before it's all said and done for him. So I'm very happy from a fan's perspective that he gets to go out on his own terms. Now, a couple other things with this. Let's talk about from my perspective now. I am happy. As I mentioned, my biggest sin, if you want to call it that, is being a biased media member. When Alex Bowman retires at the end of 2027, although I am still a major NASCAR fan, and I believe you should not be talking about something if you are not a fan of it. I came into this DannyBTalks experiment at the end of 2017, start of 2018. As a fan of an active driver, I decided that when Dale Jr. retired, I wanted to still have an active driver to root for. And during the run in 2016, when Alex was behind the wheel of the 88, I was impressed by what I saw. And I decided that I wanted to root for a driver that was the same age as me, that I could follow for a long time. Well, Alex is going to retire at 34 years old. Didn't expect that in 2018 when I made that decision. And it's the right thing for me to do and to accept this. I will not be finding a new favorite driver. I've had some people ask me, who are you going to root for now? I will not be pursuing a new favorite NASCAR driver. And I'm fine with that. I think it's for the best this way. There are guys that I'll say I like. I like a lot of things about them. Like, example, I like a lot of things about Carson Hocevar. I see a huge potential in Connor Zilisch. I really like what Ty Gibbs is becoming. But I'm not going to say that I'll pick a favorite. Those days are done. On my truck, I keep my 3 teams as kind of like a triangle, if you will. At the top is the University of Tennessee, bottom right is Tennessee Titans, and the bottom left on my back window is a 48 Alex Bowman sticker. On my old truck before it was totaled, I had a 88 in the nationwide colors. So I've always kind of had that driver sticker on there. So following Homestead 2027 or whatever the finale is next year, that sticker will go away to be replaced by just simply a NASCAR Cup Series sticker, most likely. And I'm looking forward to that day when I can truthfully come to you guys completely unbiased, just enjoying the races. And I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Now, in regards to next year, and this year for that matter, the retirement tour is officially on for Alex Bowman and myself as a fan of him. I'm going to be going to cover the race at Kansas Speedway. I may go to Bristol, and we are going to Homestead this year. Those are the 3 races that I intend to still be at this year. I've only really had a chance to go to Chicagoland this year. Had the vlog for that on our channel. So those are the 3 races I'm going to this year. I will see how many I can get to next year. Would like to go to as many as possible, but things happen. Never know what things are going to be like in life next year. So that's my perspective on things right now. Going to try to see him compete as good as I can, while also maintaining a little bit of professionalism, because that's just what I do. That's what I do now. I'm looking forward to it. I hope the best for Alex Bowman and the 48 team. I hope that they can get that car in a good position for whoever the new driver is going to be, whether it's Corey Day, Raja Karoof, possibly Connor Zilisch. They get him out of the Trackhouse contract and bring him to the Hendrick. I don't know what the future looks like exactly for that car. I do know number 48, Bowman will not run the 48 in the Daytona 500 next year. Jimmy Johnson announced before the Brickyard 400 that they will be bringing that number over to Legacy to run in Jimmy Johnson's final NASCAR Cup Series race, the 2027 Daytona 500. He'll be driving the 48 with that iconic Hendrick font, from my understanding. So Alex will need a new number for the 2027 Daytona 500. And an idea that I've heard some fans suggesting, well, a couple of ideas. Some say the 25, because that's the classic Hendrick number. I like that. Some say the 55. That was his dirt number that he ran in sprint cars. And he also ran that number in ARCA. So those are some good ideas. But another idea, if things are progressing with the Days of Thunder 2, perhaps we could get Alex Bowman driving a number 46 to film things for Days of Thunder 2. Just an idea. I also like the idea, if they're going to do that, don't just get footage of Daytona. Have all 4 Hendrick drivers drive that car at some point next year. Put it at tracks where they're most likely to do well. Bowman might even put it on the pole. He's done that plenty of times at Daytona. So those are some ideas that I like for what he'll run at the Daytona 500 next year. But, you know, I just wanted to have a chance to sit down and just reflect on my fanhood of Alex Bowman. It was very fun getting to see him, you know, on TV, get that first win at Chicagoland Speedway back in 2019. Knew right then and there, it's like, okay, yep, this guy's as good as I hoped he was. He's able to get that win. Felt good after he come close at Kansas earlier that season. Really loved watching him win in the 42 for Ganassi in 2017. When it was, you know, when we knew he was going to be going to the 88 in 2018. A lot of good memories as an Alex Bowman fan. Eight Cup Series wins he's picked up so far. Might even be able to get more, you know, between now and his final race next year. And I guess wording is also key. I think it's been said he'll at least retire from full-time NASCAR racing. So, I mean, is he an option to maybe run some part-time stuff? I guess just like Eric Almirola is still an option to show up in a O'Reilly race here and there. So I don't know if that's really it for Alex Bowman, but I will say this. At the end of 2027, that is it for me having a favorite NASCAR Cup Series driver or NASCAR driver, period. I'm okay with this decision, and I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from in all of this. And yeah, I am okay with how things sit. Let me know what you guys think. Were you expecting Alex to retire after 2027? Did this shock you guys? And who do you think is going to be driving that car in 2028? Will it be the 48 car? Will they maybe decide to move on from that number and bring back a number like 25 or Connor Zilish comes to Hendrick? Could they just bring back the 88? I don't know what to expect. Let me know what you guys think down below. And as always, thanks for checking out DannyBTalks. Hopefully we have more to talk about in the coming weeks. Check us out on NWP. We'll see you then. Get to break this down a little bit more. And until next time, hope you guys have a great day. Bye, guys.